Hey you, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Douglas James. So I have an incredible video for you today. We're going to be talking about the mindset shifts that you got to make to go into entrepreneurship. Okay, so you might be someone that might be in a career, a 9-to-5 job, right? And you're looking to transition to being an entrepreneur or starting your own online business. Or you might be somebody that is in business and you're just looking for those little 1 or 2% tweaks that's going to help you shift your mindset so that you're more successful in business. That's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. All right. So make sure you do give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also smash the subscribe button and turn on notifications because I'm coming out with videos all the time around business, financial literacy, and leadership. All right, so let's jump right in here. So I'm gonna jump into this video. It's actually an excerpt from one of my coaching calls that I did with my community where we went super deep on what it takes to shift into this entrepreneur mindset. Make sure you do stick around, take notes, and consume this because I think and I believe it will help you get closer to what you want in life and business and also for your family. All right, I'll see you on the other side. There's two ways to doing it. The first way is you can take the elevator, okay? You ever been in a building or a high-rise building? Maybe it's just 3 floors. Maybe it's, the Empire State Building where there's, I don't know how many floors there are, 60, 70, 80, 100, I don't know. There's an elevator. You get in, the elevator opens up, you get in, you press the floor you want to go to, floor 50, and then boom, it takes you straight all the way up, right? Now that's one way to hit your solved problem. How do we relate that to real life? Well, that's basically you buying a lottery ticket and winning like $10 million overnight. That's one way of hitting your solved problem. Or that's you sending emails or making calls and sending it to just the right perfect person at the right perfect time, and you land a retainer of $100,000 a month or something like that, right? Which is a significant amount of money to somebody that has never seen that amount of money before, right? Which happens. It happens. Now, I think that can presume a lot of challenges to somebody that's not set up, that knows how to handle and manage that type of situation. Maybe you went from earning sub $10,000 a month or sub $5,000 a month, whatever it is in your careers, to now you're doing over 6 figures a month, or you ran into $10 million overnight. That's really scary because you have zero framework on how to manage that situation. How many millionaires or lottery ticket winners or casino winners or even star athletes and celebrities can we name that signed on the dotted line at 20 years old and became a DECA millionaire overnight? And then we read the newspaper clippings, in debt, IRS repossessing cars and houses, spending $1 million a night at the strip club or whatever, right? You see or hear of these stories, right? It's because they don't have the framework, right? They didn't have the right people, coaches, or information in their life to learn how to manage that money responsibly. If you don't respect money, money will not respect you. So that's why I would much rather become a DECA millionaire over a 30, 40-year time frame than overnight. Because over that 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, I would have been able to acquire experience and knowledge and overcome challenge, obstacles, and learn things through that process, through that journey, right? Instead of just hitting the thing overnight. It's like, well, crap, I already did this thing, now what? That's another thing. You hit the goal, crap, $10 million overnight. Now what? What am I going to do now? So you have to get that framework. So what I would encourage you to do is get out of the I need to make this work tonight or tomorrow mentality and commit to a long-term time preference. Instead of taking an elevator, I would encourage you to take the stairs. Just like any building you go into, we typically jump into the elevator because it's going to get us to the 3rd, 4th floor or the 10th floor, 50th floor fastest. Most people don't want to take the stairs because it requires work, it requires energy. You have to physically walk up steps. What happens when you do that? You increase your cortisol levels. You start to output energy. You start to burn more calories. You start to breathe a little bit heavier, right? You start to get tired. You start to get fatigued. Anxiety starts to go through the roof as you're climbing the 10th floor, 20th floor, right? Most people don't want to do that. They just want to jump in the elevator because they'll get there way faster. But what happens when you take, like, if you literally take the stairs, physically taking the stairs versus the elevator, what happens? You're actually improving your cardiovascular system. You're actually building muscle, your well-being by doing that physically and mentally, right? It takes more willpower mentally to do that than just to get into an elevator and press a button. And that's the whole, I think generally in our society, I think most of us can agree to, it's like we like things now. Like we like to be able to just press a button and have something show up. And don't get me wrong, I love this too. And I'm a product of this as well. I order Postmates probably multiple times a week. You know, I press a couple buttons on my phone and, 30, 40 minutes later, I have a 2, 3, 4 course meal show up in my doorstep. It's a beautiful thing, right? We like that instant gratification. What I've learned, actually, and this is really wise, and this is not for me, this is from one of my friends told me, but seeking high levels of dopamine with no effort will destroy a person. Did you get that? But seeking high levels of dopamine with no effort, zero effort, will destroy a person. What's another example of that? Us checking our phone all the time to see if one of our photos were liked on Facebook or Instagram, right? Checking our notifications all the time on Instagram. Searching for that dopamine, that feedback loop. Do people like me? Did people like my stuff? Right? You see that in business. Actually, there was times where I would do that too. I used to have a sales channel that was easy for me to access. Actually, no, I used to have my P&L made for me daily, and I stopped doing that. I do once a week now. But that's just like one example, and I think if you create frequency of exposure, if you have high levels of frequency exposure to the thing that's going to give you dopamine without any effort, will teach you and embed in you that you don't have to work and things will just come to you, right? But if you just keep doing that, nothing's going to happen, right? Nothing's going to change. You're just going to continue to sit there and not get anywhere, right? So I would just be very wary of that. In business, taking the stairs will also have great benefits as well. Now, picture this. Picture stairs with 5 steps, okay? Can you guys visualize this? Picture some stairs with 5 steps that look like this, all right? At the top of the stairs, you have your goal. Now, what's your goal, okay? In 6 months, I want to make 25 grand a month. Okay, cool. If that's going to be like your short-term goal, great. Maybe your long-term goal is, retire and travel with my family. Maybe you can put that up there. To me, that's a more powerful goal to have. But to each their own. Put whatever that goal is up there. Now you notice on each step, there's a straight line, right? That's parallel with the goal that's at the top. On each one of those steps, on those 5 steps till you hit that main goal, those are called targets. Right when you hit that step, it's a target. So what are those targets that you need to hit to get you closer to that goal, right? So in finances, it's easy. Okay, we could just say 25 grand a month in 6 months. Okay, we put a time frame, we put a dollar amount. Okay, there's 5 steps, so 25 grand divided by 5, that's easy math. Yeah, there's 5 steps. Let's just say 5 months for easy math, 25 grand a month, right? So each target is 5 grand a month. So that's your targets. There's 5 different targets. They're all moving up with a step going this way, right? 5 grand, 5 grand, just like that. Now, when you go up, you hit the target 5 grand, but that step that's going this way, that is where most people get it wrong, and that's where this thing will crumble. Forget taking the elevator. If you're taking the stairs and you can't maintain or sustain the 5 grand that you hit previously, you will never hit the 25K, right? So it's a balancing act between, okay, my goal is 25 grand a month. That's my ultimate goal, okay? Each of my targets are 5 grand a month. I need to be able to hit those targets. There's a time in here where I have to sustain that, and I have to make sure that my systems and processes and that my customers or clients are happy with the results they're giving me so that I can maintain that 5 grand a month. Because if not, I'm probably going to lose it or part of it, and it's going to push my goal a little bit further away. Okay. And look, there is nothing wrong with that at all. If you set a goal, let's say it's 25 grand a month in 5 months, you put 5 targets, 5 grand a month, and you go into it with the understanding, okay, I hit my first 5K, I need to sustain this. If not, it's going to delay my 5-month progression. Let's say the first month you hit the 5K, you sustain it. The next month you hit the 5K. So by month 2, you're making 10 grand a month, but month 3 rolls around. Let's say you don't hit the 5K. Let's say it takes you 2 months to hit the 5K. Now you're 4 months in at 15,000 a month. If you look back, look how much further you have came in those 4 months. You went from 0 to 15 grand a month. Yeah, you delayed your goal of 25 grand a month by 30 days at that moment, but you picked up so much wisdom and knowledge outside of money, right? Financially, you're making 15 grand a month that you never had before, but then you gain 4 months of wisdom and knowledge that you'll be able to continue to take on, right? You see, this entrepreneurship has so many more benefits than money. It gives you the benefit of being one of the greatest problem solvers in the world and getting wisdom and knowledge that most people aren't willing to, that most people won't get because they're not willing to go through that struggle and go through those steps, right? So when you look at entrepreneurship, you look at building a business or having an agency, understand that there's a monetary benefit, but there's also a mental benefit as well in knowledge and experience that you can't get anywhere in the world. This is called sweat equity. The lifestyle 9 times out of 10 is I wake up at 6, I make coffee, I check up on the news, maybe I get my kids ready and put them on the bus, and then I go to work. Right? Or something like that. Maybe you guys don't have kids and you have like a morning routine, but generally you're going somewhere for 8 to 10 hours a day in some type of career or job. Or maybe you work from home, right? Typically 9 times, now I'll probably say about 8, maybe 7 to 8 out of 10 people. That's kind of like their thing. That's the lifestyle that you're in now. So you have to be able to, especially if you're starting, I would never recommend someone cold turkey their income stream. Like you don't want to, that's like a dumb thing to do. You got to keep food on the table, right? But you have to be able to identify, okay, my lifestyle is this right now. Where I'm at now is not where I'm going. I need to learn and adopt a new form of lifestyle and adapt and change so that I can become to have this new lifestyle, right? And that lifestyle could be working with your own clients, working from home. Instead of driving to an office to go sit there for 10 hours a day, you're driving to go meet one of your clients in your local community. It's a different lifestyle. Then you get to say, okay, typically my lifestyle right now is every month I get my schedule for the month and I'm expected to be somewhere from 9 to 5. Now, this new lifestyle, I basically can create my own schedule and do whatever the heck I want, whatever I want, with whoever I want. You have to start to like recognize that change and those differences, and you have to start stepping into that because it's a whole lifestyle change. You know, it's not something that you just step into for 30 days or 60 days or even 6 months. It is for as long as whatever your solvable problem is or the outcome you're trying to achieve, it's as long as that is. And there you have it. Hey, make sure that you do like the video. If you got any value out of this video at all, I want you to be successful. I want to help you get closer to what matters to you in life, in business, and in family. So make sure you do like the video if you got value, and also to subscribe. Coming out with videos all the time around business, financial literacy, and leadership. This is Douglas James. Make sure to check out one of my next videos and also check out the YouTube Shorts. We're dropping YouTube Shorts almost, I think, every day at this point. So, hey, keep grinding, keep getting closer to what matters to you. Don't forget to hold your loved ones. Have an amazing holiday, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.